Well, we're here talking about the race horses. Obviously, last night, Saturday night, didn't go how we hoped. Ale Sun was so-so. We'll talk about her in a minute. Oso Pine was good. Third, just beat at the wire. The last quarter was a little skeptical, 31 seconds. I don't understand where that was coming from. Maybe it was a little windy earlier on. When I got over there, I didn't find it that windy, but I thought he raced good nonetheless. Obviously, I run Donato off his feet. I drove him poorly. And who else do we have? Thought we had one more. Oh, Trixie was scratched, of course. Cherry on the top of the night. So we'll start with Ale Sun. I thought she raced okay. You know, the horse that won the race clearly is not a Flamborough horse. The horse just toyed with everybody. And sometimes when horses blow by you like that, kind of puts a dagger in their heart, right? You feel them kind of wilt away. They're beaten. So if he doesn't come at that point and blow right by me, you know, does she hang on? Does she finish second? Does she race better? I don't know. She was only beat a couple lengths for second or third, I think. But that was a straight nominals of 3. We're going to put her over in the condition claimer where Spend That Money race last week. Now, Spend That Money's in London this week. So that class, hopefully it goes, we'll have Ale Sun in it on Thursday. Brave World, Tim told me he trained him in 55 in the bike. He'd like to race him once. Tough class, but nevertheless, he said, you know, worst case scenario, we get the last chunk of money off his card. Then he fits nothing when he comes back here to Ontario, which is correct. So even a loss is a win, technically speaking, I guess, when it comes to Brave World. He'll race this coming Thursday at the Meadows, I believe. Canadian Titan continues to train down well. I saw her train yesterday. I imagine she'll be going over to Mohawk, maybe to go mile 210 or 12 in the coming weeks. We'll see. As I said, I think I'm pretty firm in saying that she'll be ready first part of April. Compass Rose DC returned to Jason's barn in Northfield Park, where it all began. Jason told me yesterday she looks fantastic. Looks like $1 million. So thank you to the Schaefer family and Schaefer Farms for taking good care of her and having her looking good when she came back. Cavill Hanover, little flat, a little sick his first start. Irv Miller said that he scoped a little sick. So wanted to give him a week. I believe he'll put him in next week. Cruising in Style, the winner, raced absolutely fantastic. Mark and Michelle Treffy and Tim Dickey, the threesome, they did a good job with this horse. Obviously, Mark and Michelle are happy to have him around the corner in Saratoga, and as I said to them, I don't really care as long as the horse is in a place he can win. You know, Mohawk was tough for him. It didn't work out well for him at the Meadows. Northfield was an option, but, you know, given the racing at Saratoga in that area, I think it suits him well. So, very happy with Cruising in Style. Don't believe me, just watch. Now, he is the favorite tonight out of the 7-hole, but is coming off a big win. First over. So, you know, again, another horse where we were racing him in the condition claimer before the lockdown, and, you know, he fits this class now. Funny how timing is, right? He couldn't really do in this class in the November, December type situation he was in. You know, he couldn't do it at Mohawk. The class wasn't filling regularly, and he was getting in tough at Flamborough. So, the class now seems to be watered down, and it's a good class for him. I hope he just pounds them right into the ground. I think, you know, don't believe me, 7-hole and a half mile track is a tall ask for any horse, given even remotely similar competition. So, you know, what I'm saying is, all things considered equal, a 7-hole is really tough for him. So we'll see. He is picked to win, and I'd love to see him go out and win again tonight at Flamborough. Globetrotting looks fabulous also. She's come back very, very good. Winterwood, Mark Adams always does a great job with her horses, and, you know, this filly the mare now, come back looking very, very good. So expecting big things from, you know, from our girl Globetrotting. A horse that for some reason has really let me down has been Missampton Beast. You know, I really expected more and thought more of this filly. She just hasn't really put out the same way. You know, last week, you know, I could blame myself from the rail and not getting away, not moving her. Then Aaron got away poorly the next week. The other day, she no excuses. Aaron did everything he could to get her away better. She just didn't have any fire, any pop to her, any life to her. And quite frankly, she's worth nothing to sell right now. So she's kind of forced her hand here. I moved her back to Jason because we don't have any trucks going to Northfield right now, but I guess Missampton Beast has to come home. She'll be one of the only horses. I think she's too good to sell for nothing, and too bad to sell right now. So she's got me in a tough spot right now. But I guess she's gonna have to come home. Kevin gets along well with her. There might be a class here for her sooner than later. So I guess that's where we're at with Missampton Beast. She is on her way to Northfield Park, almost literally, and then we'll see what happens. I don't think you're going to see Jason race Missampton Beast unless, you know, and the truck hasn't arrived and Jason's schools are off the gate and said, gee, she was really good. That would be the only way we would race her at Northfield. Billy Rhodes tried to race her there and she was abysmal 2 or 3 times. So we'll see. We're not in a great spot with Missampton Beast, but that's racing. I don't think we should sell her off her lines because I think she's a better horse than she looks like on paper. And at the same time, I can't leave her in the meadows. So coming home is a very viable, and I guess it's a necessity at this point. Oso Pine was absolutely fantastic last. I guess he wasn't fantastic. Fantastic would have got him in the winner's circle. I thought he raced well. I wasn't disappointed with him, and we'll just keep putting him in where he can do. Jason has done a great job with him. Cindy's doing a great job taking care of him. James has done a great job driving him. I don't see any reason to be concerned. I would have liked to see a win last night. I think everybody would have. But hey, would have loved to keep Donovan trotting, and that didn't happen either. So we don't always get what we want. Path of Totality is ready to start training now. I think Jason said he's going to start training her on Tuesday or Wednesday. I told him to start without the hobbles, and you know the biggest thing with Path of Totality is keep her quiet, right? She can get a little hot, a little rammy, and she does tuck her neck in. So I don't want to see her having any disruptions in her air. So I said to Jason, snake cord and choke plate if you need it. Just keep her quiet, training down. I'm expecting big things. There's some fillies here, some mares here I'm expecting big things from. Globetrotting, Compass Rose DC, and Path of Totality. Just to name 3 that I'm expecting big things from in 2021. Rooney Blue Chip on the sales block again. Haven't got any takers yet on Rooney, but he's back in to go Tuesday or Wednesday. I suspect at some point over the next week somebody will jump in and buy Rooney Blue Chip, but he's a nice horse. We just always missed our mark, right? We were offered money for him and turned it down. Then we tried to sell him and it wasn't enough, and we kept him. And he raced good off and on in between. The consistency could be better for sure, but he's a likable horse. And once again, up for sale and on the block. Spend that money. Finished second. Her first start wasn't great, but wasn't bad, and could get around a half-mile track. So good. You know, I'd said to somebody, you know, looking at what she was like at 2 and then what she's like now, wow. You know, some of her best racing was done in the first months of her racing career. And, you know, when they get interfering and stuff like that, it is problematic. But better now. Spend that money is better now. Not better than she was at 2, but she's better than she certainly was before she left the meadows. Spirit of Dio's training down again. Now, I had reports she'd been in 219, and somebody else said she'd been in 222. She's been around 220 in a bit. How's that? We're all good. We're all good. She's getting closer, put it that way. Stonebridge Simba, we gave some time off to Simba. You know, he had that AFib quite a while ago and then raced great his first start back, and then kind of flat the other day. He looked flat from the start to me. You know, he didn't spring off the car. He had to work real hard to get to the front. I didn't think he looked great. So I had said he was long overdue for a rest. I mean, I always say the horses, especially age horses, will tell us when they need a rest. Well, when you're looking at AFib and then a bad start, all within a 4-start radius, what's he got to do? Write us a letter? So we give him some time off. Timo Houdini was great last night too. Geez, I didn't mention him. Timo Houdini raced great again. He's been racing great for quite a while, this horse, and raced good again from post 7 at Flamborough. West 52nd is now back in training with Jim King. White Tiger, I trained White Tiger in 2-1 last half and 56-2 the other day at Mohawk. So is he ready to trot in 53? No, maybe not 53, but he's ready to compete. I actually entered him at London last week. He didn't get in. First time I've ever thought or entered White Tiger on a half-mile track was the other day, and I thought the way he trained around this track, I could swear that he would do there, but nevertheless, he didn't get in. So we entered him Friday at Mohawk, this coming Friday at Mohawk for White Tiger. And then, yes, continues to be exceptionally good. He was very, very good the other day again at Yonkers. I see he's back in to go 2-1 or 5-2 again. It's really great to see this horse's confidence growing. Nothing feels better than finding a spot, the right spot for the right horse, right? You remember what we went through last year with Stonebridge Simba. It didn't feel like he could win a qualifier. He looked terrible. And then he got a little bit better, found a spot, and now he's very good. What's up?
Ariel wants to see you.
Where is he?
In barn 5.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. He just wants to see
Okay. I'm being summoned. But yeah, with Stonebridge Simba last year, he was exceptional. You know, right now, the best racing of his life was at the end of right now. And then he raced good in the summer for Tim. He won that race for Jason before we sent him to Tim. But before that, you know, and it's nothing to do with the trainer. The leading trainer in the state of Ohio forever, Virgil Morgan, fantastic trainer, sharp guy, and had no luck with him, right? Just couldn't do any good with him. So it happens where you just have to find the right mix. And yes, raced good at Flamborough. Then I sent him to the Meadows, right? We had the lockdown. Sent him to the Meadows. He just looked out of sorts. Sent him to Northfield. He looked dreadful. Brought him back to the Meadows. I thought he looked adequate, but not like not like the horse that raced in the Open at Yonkers last year. He's starting to look that way again. You know, Irv certainly got him in the right frame of mind. He found a great class. And with a horse like it's mostly about confidence. What do you need, honey?
I'm just grabbing my beast.
Okay. With a horse like it's mostly about confidence, right? This horse could be any kind of horse now. You throw another win on top of the 2 that he just had, he's going to feel like King Kong the next time he gets out on the track. And by the time he gets up through the classes, has the confidence, has the speed, the stamina. Who knows? Could have the old back again. So that's where we're at with the aged horses. Super impressed with really impressed with Timel Houdini. Also very impressed with Timel Houdini. And then also Pine raced good last night. Don't believe me, just watch. Has been racing great. Cruising in Style was as good as I've seen him for a long time the other day at Saratoga. And then Brave World's ready to race this week. So a lot going on. A lot taking place on the aged horse side. We got the 3-year-olds to talk about. We got some very interesting looking 3-year-olds to talk about also. So those are your aged horse. I'll be back in a minute. We will talk about the 3-year-olds.